I sold all of my crypto and I bought this instead. It's a brand new warehouse. But you might be thinking, why would someone who's built their entire business in crypto just exit the market all at once and buy a commercial piece of real estate? Well, in this video, I'm going to explain why I sold, where I think the crypto market is going, and what I'm gonna do with this building, because I genuinely think this might be the best investment I've ever made. My name is Vic. I've been in the crypto trenches since 2020, worked with brands like Kraken, Exodus, and over 100 more. And in those 5 years, I've just stared at the same Bitcoin chart every single day. And I started noticing a seriously predictable pattern. In fact, if I just ignored everything else, I never traded NFTs, I never traded meme coins, and I just stuck to this pattern, I could have just kept it simple and made the most amount of possible money in crypto. That pattern, that indicator I'm talking about, that's the Bitcoin 4-year cycle. And right now, it's screaming at us.
Let's make one thing clear. I am not done with crypto. I'm not leaving. I think crypto, Bitcoin, whatever you want to call it, has a very, very strong role in the future of the economy, and it will be its own sector. Trump's already calling it that. There are many bullish signals long-term, nations adopting it, regulations becoming a lot more friendly with it. Since Trump took office, the industry has become a lot more bullish overall, but there is a lot of things that are wrong with it still. It's just, in the short term, I think we're entering a bearish period. And instead of taking screenshots, I took my profits. I sold all of my spot bags. Okay, maybe not all, about 99% of my spot crypto, meaning crypto that I hold, that I have in self-custody. I sold it. And yes, I bought a 2,300 square foot piece of commercial real estate that I have plans for. For the sake of my financial privacy, I'm not going to tell you exactly how much money I sold for, but I will tell you the exact candle, the exact day, moment in time, exit price on average that I sold all my crypto for, and it's right here. About $113,000 Bitcoin was my average exit across all of my portfolio, all of my altcoins, Solana, Ethereum, the smaller ones, pretty much everything I liquidated right here. And as you can see, so far, it's been a very, very good decision because the market has slid and we are today, at least, sitting at $89,000 Bitcoin. We just dipped under 90K today. But I'm not here to brag about the fact that I sold very close to the top. I'm here to tell you why. Why did I do that? What was my decision-making behind it? Why do I feel very confident about this move? And it's playing out in my favor right now. What's going on? So this is Bitcoin's entire lifespan. And every 4 years, I've marked a white line on the chart. That's because every 4 years since the beginning of Bitcoin, it's repeated the exact same cycle over and over again. People call this the Bitcoin 4-year cycle. A lot of people have doubts around it. A lot of people say it's not relevant anymore for a bunch of different reasons. The size of the wealth managers involved, the fact that nations are now involved, recent pumps correlation to M2 money supply being increased. There's a list of reasons why people will dismiss the Bitcoin 4-year cycle, but for me, I've seen it play out. I've watched FTX drag us into a bear market, a crypto winter during November of 2022, the exact timing that the bottom should have hit. And these white lines that I have on the Bitcoin chart are the dates of the Bitcoin halving, because the Bitcoin halving is kind of the catalyst for all of this. It's the determining moment where Bitcoin's reward system gets split in half, creating a supply shock on Bitcoin, meaning there's less Bitcoin being created. And if you know anything about economics, supply and demand is literally the most fundamental principle of economics. If you have less of something and you have a market for it, that something becomes more valuable when you cut the supply in half, and you see it on the chart. So to completely dismiss the Bitcoin 4-year chart because BlackRock is involved or Trump launched a meme, it's just like, to me, you can't dismiss it, bro. It's literally history. But the one thing that I paid attention to is that each cycle has diminishing returns, meaning that the price goes up less percentage and the price goes down less percentage. Just to help you visualize diminishing returns, if you have time on the bottom, going horizontally and you have value going up vertically, you have a massive jump in value at the start, but over time, the value goes less and less and less up and starts to flatten itself out. This is what diminishing returns look like. It's basically exponential growth in reverse. And with each halving event cutting the rewards in half, that's what you would experience, diminishing returns. At the very beginning, Bitcoin rewards were 50 Bitcoin per block. So 50 Bitcoin every 10 minutes was being dished out to miners. That was cut in half to 25 4 years later, 12.5 Bitcoin 4 years later in 2026, 6.25 in 2020, 3.125 in 2024, and that will continue to get cut in half until there's no more Bitcoin to mine, meaning that the supply shock will do less and less and less over time. It's important because when you look and you zoom in on one of the cycles, let's pay attention to the 2020 to 2024 period between halvings. There are 6 steps in the 4-year cycle, and they played out every single time. And the last step people are waiting for right now, but I think it already happened if we think about what I just talked about, diminishing returns. So first we have the halving, which happened right here around June of 2020. Then we have accumulation, which looks like this. A lot of smart traders getting in, building up the price slowly but steadily. Moving into expansion here, where the price really starts to move. And then we have a blow off the top here, hitting new all-time highs. And then past that, we have a bear market with capitulation, where people who are over leveraged or have businesses tied to crypto start to go under, finally leading back to recovery, where the next Bitcoin halving is anticipated and people start to flock back in on the way up. But when we look at this cycle, we see a very similar pattern. It's just the blow off the top was less than people expected. So this is the current cycle. We have the halving that happens right here. The next step is accumulation, which happens in this region right here. Then we go into the bull run right here. And this is where people are going to argue with me, but I think this is our blow off the top. I think that we actually had the run that we've been waiting for. And again, I'm going to reference the diminishing returns, because every single blow off the top has been less impactful than the last one that happened. Based on the data we have on TradingView, after the 2012 halving, we saw a jump in Bitcoin's price 12,000%. Jumping forward to 2016's halving, we have a jump in Bitcoin's price 3,000%. That's 4 times less. Looking at 2020's halving, we see a jump in price to all-time high, just over 800%. That's pretty much 4 times less again, or around that. I'm just doing rough math. And then looking at our current cycle based on the halving to all-time high, we see a 95% increase in price, which is about 8 times less, but is still diminishing on track. And in fact, diminishing returns do not drop off linearly. It's like a reverse exponential. So for it to be 4 times less every cycle doesn't really add up. It doesn't really make sense. Now, people are going to make the argument that if you line up the numbers and you run the math based on projections, this cycle should top out at around $200,000, which I believed for the longest time, but I had my rules set in place. And the cycle also actually has more data on dates than it does on price predictions. One really important thing to note about the last cycle starting in 2020 is that everyone had the same price prediction that Bitcoin was going to go to $100,000. And there was retail mania at that point. And in fact, we didn't even come that close to $100,000 Bitcoin last cycle. We missed it by 40%. It was a pretty big gap. But so many people refused to sell here because they were convinced that the price would make it up there eventually in that cycle. But sadly, it took almost 4 years to see $100,000 Bitcoin. So if you bought around here and you were waiting for 100K to sell, you better have locked in. Hive mind price targets are not the best things to grab onto, in my opinion. Something else that I've noticed that really resonates with last cycle is something that I'm gonna call the meta effect. At the peak of last cycle, everything was about the metaverse. I don't know if you remember this, but the metaverse was like the most hype shit ever. Everyone was minting NFT projects. Everyone was saying they're going to make this metaverse game and we're all going to live in this VR reality. It was all a bunch of fluff, but it was really hype at the time. It was so hype, in fact, that at the very top of the market, Facebook, which is one of the biggest and most influential tech companies of all time, they changed their name to Meta. Like, they literally pivoted their whole business over to this crazy trend. And you might be saying, that didn't happen this time. There's no company that is going all in on crypto. Well, what happened was we did it at a bigger scale. The Trump administration is trying to rebrand the United States of America as a crypto country. It's happening, but on a bigger scale right now. A scale that I would say reflects the difference from this cycle's all-time high to this cycle's all-time high. We have Meta, and then we have the United States of America. I know that Trump's been siding with crypto for a while now, but from the point of view that I have, a lot of that is filled with air. A lot of it is lobbied. A lot of it is fake liquidity, manipulation. Like, crypto is such an industry where certain players can really manipulate what's happening for a certain period of time before they decide to send things the other way and make money on the way down. Another really strong indicator to let us know that there's probably not a lot of fresh money coming in to get us to that expected 200K Bitcoin price is the social metrics versus the price of Bitcoin. And we are comparing here, the red line being how much social interest is in crypto, and the blue line being the price of Bitcoin. And if we look at this current cycle, Bitcoin is over 100K, and the social metrics are rock bottom. No one cares about Bitcoin right now to put their money in Bitcoin. Do you know why? ChatGPT, can you please explain to the viewers exactly why AI has completely stolen mindshare and NVIDIA stocks and OpenAI eventually going public is basically siphoning all the liquidity out of the potential growth in crypto's market cap?
AI has captured so much public and investor attention that money that might have gone into crypto is now flowing into AI-related stocks.
That's all I need. That's all I need. Crypto investors have been waiting for the retail market to show up and buy our bags so we can go to 200K Bitcoin, 10K Ethereum, $1,000 Solana, but they're not paying attention because FTX probably destroyed them a few years ago, and NVIDIA is going nuts. It's the biggest company in the world right now off of AI hype, off of the AI bubble. There's just no way for crypto to compete with AI right now. As you just saw, I asked an AI and it was like, yep, pretty much. If you like this type of content of me going into all these metrics and all of this data, then you would love my live stream on Kick. I go live almost every single weekday. I draw on the Bitcoin chart. I give my perspective. If you were watching my live stream at the start of October, I told you guys that I was selling all my crypto at 113K Bitcoin. I did not hold anything back, and I explained this stuff in much more detail. I also do a giveaway on every single live stream, $15 giveaway if you're a free viewer, but paid Kick subscribers get the chance to win a $50 giveaway every single stream. Actually, it's kind of cool how I set it up. It's $5 to subscribe on Kick, and it's a $50 giveaway. So you can literally 10x your money by watching my stream. And most of the time, a Kick subscriber wins because Kick subs get 5 ballots where free viewers get 1 ballot. So if that sounds cool, jump to the Kick link in the description. I would love to see you in the live chat and ask away. Ask anything you want. It's free. All right, back to the video. So how do I know that this date is the date? This is the top date. What do I have to work off? Well, I think this image paints a beautiful picture of the date correlation to the Bitcoin 4-year cycle. You can see here that the top of the 2013 to the top of the 2017 cycle was just over 1,400 days. Same with the 2017 top to the 2021 top, 1,431 days. We topped out this cycle from the 2021 top to 2025 all-time high, the exact same amount of days, literally exact same amount of days, 1,431, 1,431. So the dates line up insanely well. And if you go back historically through the 4-year cycle, like the dates are just so tight, dude. Like they're so tightly wound. And that's been my biggest thing. Right when we hit that all-time high at 126K, and I knew that was the date, I stuck around for a little bit, and I probably should have sold a little earlier, but I had this crazy internal feeling, this gut feeling like, brother, stick to your plan. Get out. So I sold 99% of my spot crypto. I did it legitimately. I'm not trying to get around anything. Like I did it, sent it to my bank, paying taxes, bro, do it right. And I used that money to help fund the purchase of my warehouse. Now, as you can see, I stored that value very well, but now I want to outline what this building does for me. First off, Canadian real estate is down right now. The market topped during the pandemic, but I'm not looking at this as an investment into Canadian real estate or commercial real estate thinking it's going to go up in value. What I am betting on is that the Canadian government keeps fumbling, keeps printing way more money and destroying the currency with their insane budgets. Because inflation is what increases asset prices. Asset prices are priced in, where I'm from, Canadian dollars. So inflation is what I'm betting on. And I'm storing that value in real estate because I got in at an incredible price and I got out of a market near the top. The second reason I bought it is that this building is about to become a content creator's paradise. As I mentioned, I stream almost every day. I film videos on YouTube. I even make music. Like this is a music studio that I'm in. I have a guitar behind me, but this is just like a small room that I rent in a bigger commercial building. I can hear people yapping in the hallway, banging all day. I hear cars driving by. Like it's not a very private space to do this type of stuff. Especially when I stream, I go crazy if I cook on Soul Pump, which I do. I do all the time. So content creation is my business. Like crypto is what I talk about, but I make videos, I make content, I stream, and I'm investing into my business. So this is like a dual-sided investment into real estate and my business at the same time. Lastly, this is like a dream come true for me. Ever since I was a kid, I've wanted this insane work environment where I can do anything. The sound treatment is amazing. The lighting is amazing. I own it. I can build because there's a lot of room. I'm going to park a sick car in it. I'm going to put a gym in it. I'm going to make this place incredible. Now, just in case this video completely backfires and we just go like this to 200K, I gotta say that even if this does happen, I'm happy, man. I've been buying crypto. I started here and then I bought again here and I've been buying all the way back up. Like I am so in the green that selling right here, even if it goes higher, I did not lose, guys. Now, where do I think it's going to go? Very easily, I can show you where I think crypto is going to bottom out at. So if I draw a fib from the bottom of this cycle, we can see that the actual golden range, the 0.618 golden range of the fib lands in this price zone right here between $70,000 to $57,000 Bitcoin. Now, I'm also going to draw a fixed range volume profile, which shows us how much volume is happening in certain ranges rather than just horizontally across time. And you can see that this range right here is a hotspot for volume. You can see it right here. This is the amount of volume. And that means that there's a lot of price stickiness. Like the price likes it here. Coincidentally, this lines up with the same range as the last cycle. Like this is where the last cycle topped out at. Now this range is about a 55% drawback from the top. And it's within this range right here that if everything goes smoothly, I will start to DCA back into my positions, dollar cost average back into my positions, buy pieces over time and over time and over time, just like I did the entire way like this. And hopefully it all plays out and I'll be chilling. I'll be happy. I'll be great. And this video will age extremely well. But let me just be super clear. This is not financial advice for you. This is just what I did, what I believe, my opinion. And this is entertainment. I hope you're eating lunch, watching this video, eating dinner, watching it with the kids. But if I'm right, damn, it's a good ass video. Whether you agree with me or not, I hope you got value from this video. Again, I'm not going anywhere. If anything, I'm only going to be posting more high value crypto content on this YouTube channel and on Kick once I move over to the new building. I'm super excited about it. I could have not done this without you, the viewer, the live stream audience, the Telegram community, you guys helped me get here. And I'm going to keep giving back to the community with giveaways, with as much free value, free content that I can. I'm never going to sell you a course. I'm never going to sell you on some bullshit VIP Telegram. Like, this is free value for you. So if you like that, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm trying to grow the #1 how-to crypto YouTube channel in the world. Also, if you haven't, join my free Telegram group, because I post every single day the most important news, trending tokens, hilarious memes, and we have a group chat with almost 13,000 people in it. Totally banging, epic community. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay safe in the trenches.